The characters in the film Uncertainty, the main characters were Kate and Bobby. I think, well, that they were very good actors, and they got on really well. You could tell that their relationship and the chemistry they had in the film was real. Like, they really were able to bond with each other. I just think that love scenes are really difficult to shoot, and so it's very important for the actors to get along with each other and be comfortable with each other, and I really feel that they had that in this film. They were like the same people in both the stories, but in different situations, and in both the stories they kind of was like they were based off the energies of these actors. Like in the Brooklyn story, Bobby was like really nervous and like to meet Kate's family and trying to find his place in her life, and then there's the unexpected pregnancy, which they talk a lot about. And then in the New York City one, he's like protecting her, and she's pregnant as well, but it's like you don't really notice that much, and I didn't really understand that because they were like running around and it was weird since she's pregnant. I thought this story was quite interesting, how it was based on the idea of choice and possibility, and that day Bobby and Kate have two big decisions to make. So it starts off that they flip a coin to kind of figure out what they're going to do that day, which is like the smaller decision, and then the bigger decision is the unexpected pregnancy, which they deal with throughout the film. It's interesting how they like separate on the bridge, and then one's green and one's yellow, and how they're always dressed either in yellow or they're always dressed in green, and how they have like they're the same characters, it's just in different situations. The film was shot with an HD camera, D20, so it was high resolution film, so they were able to put really good lenses on it, and they used a lot of long lenses, and they used a lot of wide shots, especially in New York when like they were following Bobby and Kate running around. They were able to actually not cast extras, but like just use the real people around them for the film. So that made the film, like it took like the attention away from the actors and kind of made it like into a bigger perspective for the audience to see, which I think was really interesting, and I think it worked well because it was more realistic. You could tell that it was like a real scene in New York, and it really created the chaotic vibe that New York has. In the Q&A, I really thought it was interesting to hear how they shot the film. They shot the Manhattan story first, and then they shot the Brooklyn story after. And they basically, like, yeah, they went back and forth a little bit, but not so much. And they kind of just stuck to the script, which I think is interesting, because when you're doing a film like this, with two different sides, it's kind of like you feel like you would have to go back and forth a lot, and they said they didn't have to do that much, which caught my attention, and I was like, whoa, really? So like they did one story and then the other one. Of course they went back and edited, and they did a little bit of back and forth, but not as much as expected, which was interesting to hear. I also liked how they were so decided on their title, Uncertainty, for the film, and it was like it kind of is what inspired the film.